In this video, I'm going to demonstrate PostTrans for Exchequer and the principle of posting intercompany transactions between two companies, all from one template. So here you can see we've got two Exchequer companies open already, and I'm just going to pop into Excel, and you can see here we've got an add-in toolbar here within Excel. If I press Help, we've got a search box so we can type in INT for intercompany transactions, and now you can see we've got two examples. Now one has an intercompany transaction all listed on one sheet, and the other one uses a reference of two sheets referenced between each other. I'll demonstrate that second. So let's go into the one that does it all in one sheet. So we're just going to open that. Let's just move that into the center of the screen a second. And you can see here we've got some transaction header information, reference and the alt ref, the date of the transaction, etc. Listed down here, I have the OLE, the Exchequer OLE company codes, followed by the transaction type, followed by the account, the stock code, description, unit price, and then quantity. So what PostTrans is going to read that company, open that company, set the transaction type to this, the account type to that, read all these stock items, and then post that in as a sales invoice. Next, it will see these changes in this row here, switch to the second company, create a purchase invoice for this account here, and post in the purchase invoice for these stock items here. So let's just do this. We'll go back to our add-in toolbar and press post transaction. Now PostTrans will just read that first few lines. You can see there it numbered them, and here we can see an overall summary of what we're about to post. And once we're happy with that, we can press post transaction. So that's gone into our first company, and now you can see here it's read the final four lines of the transaction, and it's switched to the ZZ02 company, and all we need to do now is press post. So let's just see if we can see that in Exchequer. Let's just move Excel over to the side there, and let's get rid of this copy. Now I do believe the company on the left is the first one. I may get these the wrong way around. Let's just have a look here. Sales invoice for Spark 01. Yes, that's correct. So that should have 4 lines on it. And there are the 4 lines. Okay, that's beautiful. So now if we go over to ZZ02 and look at the purchase side, we should now see a purchase invoice for those 4 stock items as we expect. Fantastic. So you can see how easy that was. You can use virtually any transaction type there. So we use SINs and PINs, but there could be nearly any transaction type. So now let's look at this next example. Let's go back to the help menu and type in enter again. And now we're going to use the example that uses 2 sheets. So let's just move that into the center of the screen. Let's close the other one down. And now we can see here we have a sales invoice. We've got the option on to ignore 0 quantities within PostTrans, so effectively it's only going to post those lines with a quantity against and a figure against. This allows you to create a whole template, and you could just put in the quantities there. You could pull the price using OLE, etc. into the sheet. How's this working? Okay, so at the top here we've got the first company code in cell C4, and you can see here we've got an arrow over to this company here, which is ZZ02. So we're going from ZZ01 to ZZ02. And then what we're telling PostTrans is, using its chaining function, after posting this SIN into this company, switch to the next sheet, which is called PIN. So it flicks over to this sheet here, and now you can see the second company code is referenced by this formula here to the first one. So now it's going to switch to the second ZZ02 company and post this purchase invoice. Okay, so on each line of this purchase invoice, you can see here we've got a formula which is pointing back to the SIN sheet. So effectively this PIN sheet is a mirror image of the SIN, using basically Excel formulas. So let's see that in action. Let's switch back to the SIN sheet, and we'll go up to the toolbar and press post transaction. And now, oh, hello, it's appeared on my other monitor. Now PostTrans has given me a summary of what it's about to post, and you can see there all the items. It's detected there's 4 items on that sheet, but it's saying it's going into the first company, ZZ01. So let's post that, and we should now see some confirmation that it's posted. And now it's going to switch over to the second company, which is the PIN company, and you can see there we got ZZ02. And there's the items going into the second company. And now when we confirm that, the screen's refreshed, so we can see we've written posted and posted. So both sides have been posted into Exchequer. Just to prove that, let's go to our 2 copies of Exchequer that are open. And oh, look, I did post a test in between there. You can see there the 4 items in that company, and I believe in the purchase items we've now got the purchase side of the transaction. So as I said in the previous example, this needn't necessarily be a SIN and a PIN. It could be virtually any kind of transaction type that PostTrans will handle.